Hey guys, Jason here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a review for you, and it's a little something special. A little while ago, an author contacted me and wanted me to do a review of his book that was coming out soon. The author's name is James Flynn, and his book is called The Hand That Pulls You Under. It's a short story collection. And it was really cool because I've never done anything like this. I've never gotten like an advance copy or a review copy of a book before, so I was like, oh sweet, yeah, this is awesome. So I agreed to do the review. So that's what I'm doing. He didn't pay me anything or anything. He just gave me the book, said, hey, review it, talk about what you thought. James Flynn. He also has a YouTube channel, and that's actually how I had originally known him. I have subscribed to his channel a while back and had been watching his reviews. He's got really, really thoughtful reviews, and he reviews all kinds of stuff, but like a lot of horror, some science fiction, all kinds of stuff. So check out his channel if you haven't seen it. I'll link it down in the description below. You can check that out. But so I didn't know he was an author. So yeah, so when he contacted me, I was like, yeah, you know, I watch your channel. I really like your reviews, so I'll check out your book. His book, The Hand That Pulls You Under, it comes out December 10th. And as far as I know, it doesn't look like he's going to do like physical copies. He's self-published, so there's no like paperback or hardcover. It's just an ebook, and it's $1. I think it's really important to support like small authors, self-published authors. I think it's really cool that people are, writing and trying to get their work out there. So, the more we can do to support authors like this, the better. And like I said, it's very cheap. So I do recommend that you go buy the book because I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. A lot of the stories in the book, in fact, I'd say most of the stories have kind of like a science fiction type of bent. There's a story that deals with memory replacement and how that would work, kind of a la Total Recall or Eternal Sunshine or something like that. There's an alien abduction story. There is some space like ship stuff. So there's a lot of really kind of cool science fiction-y ideas going on as well. These are horror stories, but there's a lot of that in there too. Now I will say too, these are very weird, like absurdist weird. So they're kind of crazy, and like, you're reading it, and I there was a number of stories where I got to the end and I was like, what the heck was that? In like a really interesting, good way. Like the ideas here are really, really cool. I want to say too that there's a lot of drug use and like crazy sex stuff in here, which I thought was cool. Especially the drug use stuff really added to that like sense of weirdness and absurdity, and like how you weren't really sure if what was happening was real or if it was because of the hallucinogens that these people were taking or what. And in fact, there's one story where LSD is like a main driver of the plot. And then there's another story where mushrooms are a main driver of the plot. It was very, very weird and interesting. All of this stuff kind of coupled with this science fiction element where, the drugs are kind of super drugs, or at least in one story there was like a pharmaceutical contamination of these drugs that caused them to be stronger than they normally would be. Another little trigger warning, there are a couple stories in here that have some pretty graphic violence towards animals. My biggest gripe, I'd say, was some of the stories were a little bit telly, like in that show don't tell type way. Some of them were a little telly. There was a couple stories where I was like, I don't feel like I'm connected to the character or that I'm experiencing what the character is experiencing. I'm being told this story by like an outside narrator. And that isn't horrible, but it's just not, it doesn't draw me in as much. So not all the stories, but there was a couple of them that were kind of like that. I'm a character reader. I think having really well-drawn characters is like the most important thing for having an engaging story, and plot is kind of secondary. So for me, those stories kind of didn't land as well. My favorite story of the collection was, it was called The Drifter, and basically it was about a documentary film crew. They're going around, they're looking for this mysterious man who has been spotted in various locations around the world at various times. He's kind of got this mythology around him, and they're searching for him. They're looking for him. Yeah, it was good. The ending was awesome. This is one of the stories in here where I felt like I got to know the characters at least well enough. Now, granted, it's a short story, so there's not like a lot of room for character development, but there was enough in there that I cared about the character, the main character, and I wanted to see what happened to him, and I cared about like what the outcome was. So another kind of standout that I thought was really, really kind of funny. This one made me laugh. But then also took a really dark turn. It was called Pussy Payback, and it was about this misunderstanding with this dead cat, and it was funny, and it was like ironic, and then it, like I said, it took a very, very dark turn, and it ended in a way that I thought was really, really interesting and cool. And he says in his introduction that this is the one story that's like based on true events, and I'm curious what the actual story is, because I mean, clearly what happens in the book is not what happened in real life, but I want to know what parts were fictionalized and what parts weren't. Hey James, if you're watching, let me know in the comments what in that story is true and what's fiction, because I'm interested. Another cool thing is throughout the book there are illustrations, not in every story, but in a lot of them. There will be like one page that's got like a cool like it's like a pencil drawing of like a scene or something that happened in the story, and that was neat. I like stuff like that. I know a lot of people maybe don't, but I thought it was cool. And the illustrations were also drawn by James, so that's also cool. So yeah, I guess my final thoughts is like, you know, was it amazing? Was it the greatest book that I've ever read? No. But it was a good short story collection that is weird and crazy and has some good stories in there. And for $1, totally, totally worth it. So yeah, again, James, thank you. I just want to say I really appreciate you giving me an advance copy, and I hope your book launch goes well, and you know, I'm glad I got to read it, and I hope you guys out there will support James and buy his book, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. That's all I got to say about that. So December 10th, The Hand That Pulls You Under. Go pre-order it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Basically, I just talk about books and stuff on here. So yeah, if you like that and you want to, you know, participate and join the community here, then yeah, subscribe, and you can stay up to date on everything that's going on around here. I also recently started a Discord server. I will put a link to that down in the description. You can join us there for discussions about all kinds of stuff. We got all kinds of channels with various topics and things like that. So anyway, that's all I got. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.